All right, so we are back with some more science, and today we're going to be talking about the Gulf Stream and the jet stream. So, getting started, the jet stream is an air current that is high up in the atmosphere, and it is known as a jet stream because that is where airplanes and jets they'll hop onto it and kind of ride it across the country. So it is also you can also describe it as like a tube or a river of air. So it's a river of air in the sky. And the jet stream flows from west to east, just like weather, how it moves from west to east. The jet stream also flows from west to east. So the jet stream does have an effect on our weather. And areas above the jet stream, like in this picture, so the northern United States and Canada, above the jet stream have cold temperatures, while areas below the jet stream, such as down here, the bottom part of the United States, those have warm temperatures. So you can kind of think of the jet stream as like a little bowl that holds the cold air. And the further it moves down, the further it brings the cold air. So a jet stream is a boundary between a cold air mass and a warm air mass. The cold air mass is to the north, the warm air mass is to the south. And again, depending on which way the jet stream moves, will depend on the temperatures. This picture shows you the average position, both in the summer, which is the orange up at the top, the jet stream position, the average summer, and then the average winter position, which is down in the blue. So you can tell that during the summer months, we have warmer weather. North Carolina's right here. We have warmer weather because that jet stream is further north. However, in the winter, that polar jet stream comes down a little farther and kind of cradles North Carolina in and makes it colder. All right, so the jet stream moves because of wind. So we already know that wind is caused by the uneven heating of the earth. And global winds, so across the entire globe, they're named from the direction which they come from, not the direction that they blow, but where they come from. And there are three main types of global winds on Earth. We have the prevailing westerlies, which is responsible for bringing North Carolina its weather. The polar easterlies, which is going to be at your North Pole and South Pole. Those are going to be your colder winds. And then you also have the trade winds, which blow along the equator. So looking at this graphic, the easterlies at the top and the bottom, those are going to blow from east to west, and it has the degrees of latitude. The westerlies in the red, those blow from west to east, just like weather. Westerlies, W-E, west to east, and they blow between those degrees of latitude. The trade winds are in yellow, and they blow from east to west between those degrees of latitude. It may look like the wind is curving because of something known as the Coriolis effect. Here's another picture of the different types of winds. Again, the polar easterlies in this picture are in blue. They move from east to west at the poles. The prevailing westerlies, which are in green, and that is responsible for our weather, they move from west to east. And then the trade winds in the red, they're known as just the easterlies sometimes. They move from east to west around the equator. Now, you also have an area around the equator called the doldrums, where there's no wind. All right, now moving into the Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream is a warm ocean current in the Atlantic Ocean. So you can think of this as a river of warm water in the ocean. So the Gulf Stream flows from the south of Florida up the east coast, across the Atlantic Ocean, and then towards Europe. The Gulf Stream absolutely has an effect on North Carolina weather. It warms up the air and land around the East Coast. You can tell in this picture with the warmer colors, the orange, the reds, and the yellows. Those are going to be your higher temperatures. So you can tell that the temperatures around Florida and up the coast, eastern coast of the United States, are warmer compared to the ones, the cooler colors, the blues and the greens. It also brings warmer temperatures to Europe during the colder months because it is taking that heat and transferring it up and over. So you can also tell by this picture, we have warm current, which is the red, which is the Gulf Stream, coming from Florida up the coast across the Atlantic Ocean and towards Europe. Then you also have the Labrador current, which we don't really get much into, the cold current coming from the poles. All right, so again, looking at this picture, what do the colors represent? Do you remember? And can you tell where the Gulf Stream is on this picture? All right, time for a quizzes. So you're going to go to joinmyquiz.com. It's right there on your screen. And then you can enter that code. You can take this quizzes as many times as you need. Enjoy!